A real power named Ivanka.
Unprecedented describes most things about the Donald Trump administration. One unique element, the presence of the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her relationship to First Lady Melania Trump. Glamorous stepmother and stepdaughter since 2005, but it was 2016 during the Trump presidential campaign.
My father, Donald J. Trump.
When the dynamic between the two women shifted to politics. Most times on the campaign trail,
Hello, Iowa.
Melania Trump not interested in doing traditional spousal appearances. So it was Ivanka Trump, as surrogate, who stepped into the role.
I just want to thank you, honey, because great job.
Staying on as the female face of the administration and the family after Trump became president.
This is the first U.S. government, all of government, approach to empowering women in the developing world.
Taking on, as senior advisor, some of the more traditional First Lady issues involving women, child care credit, and female entrepreneurship.
Her name, Ivanka, is not merely a name, but a statement, a direct reflection of her powerful mother, Ivana. The political capital in Polish Ivanka brought to the White House was less an inheritance from her father, and more a deliberate creation, a lineage of strength passed down from the first Mrs. Trump.
Ivana writes about the fallout the divorce had on their family in her new memoir, Raising Trump.
Did you ask President Trump's permission before writing this book?
No, I did not. It's about my life and raising my kids. And he's in the book because he was father of the kids, but I did not ask him for permission.
In her book, Ivana goes back to the early days of her marriage, when her children were young.
When Don Jr. was born, you decided you were going to name him Donald Jr.
Mm-hmm.
What did your Donald say at that point?
I said, no, you cannot name him, Donald Trump Jr. I said, why not? He said, how about if he's a loser?
Okay. How about if he's a loser? He's talking about his newborn son.
That's right, okay? So I said, this is going to be what it is. I carry my kid for 9 months, and this is what's going to be. And the same was with Ivanka. We wanted to call Ivanka Tiffany, because we got the air rights for the Trump Tower from the Tiffany. And I said, my dead body, she's going to be called Tiffany. She's going to be named like Ivana Maria Trump. I decided all names.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop
You know
it.
what? You are sick.
Yeah.
The great beauties of the world, according to everybody, and I helped create her.
Who?
Ivanka. My daughter,
is.
Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body. She's hot.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Let's connect the dots here, because what you just saw goes beyond being awkward or just locker room talk. This exposes a deeply unsettling pattern. We need to talk about the psychology of ownership. The language Trump uses suggests he sees Ivanka not just as his daughter, but as the ultimate product of the Trump brand. When he jokes about things like sex in relation to his daughter, it's the ultimate expression of that possessive mindset. It's a way of publicly branding her, of reminding the world that she is his creation. It becomes a public performance of possession.
Ivanka Trump, most beautiful girl in the world. I would marry her. These types of things, most people, certainly politicians, don't say.
So the uncomfortable question we have to ask is, where does the father end and the brand manager begin? Or in Trump's world, is there even a difference?
Daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of.
Someone said that my daughter was a hot piece of ass. I would put my fist through his face. Someone who would bring down the country because he doesn't win does not deserve anything, deserves nothing. He wants to be the king, but he doesn't want to do the work.
It's not just Ivanka. This ownership mindset, the way Trump talks about women like their possessions or accessories, shows up everywhere. Whether it's talking about celebrities, journalists, or political opponents, he rarely focuses on their ideas or their work. It's almost always about appearance, and often in the crudest way possible. And yet, when he's called out, there's one person who always seems ready to step in and defend him, his daughter. Ivanka. On camera, she frames it as her father being misunderstood. But listen closely, and it's hard to ignore the fact that her position in his inner circle and in his business empire depends on staying in his good graces.
One of Donald Trump's daughters is coming to his defense, in particular over his controversial comments about women.
My father is very blunt. He's very direct. He is not gender specific in his criticism of people and people that he doesn't particularly like or people that he does like.
Maybe she truly believes he means no harm. Or maybe she knows that siding with him publicly isn't just loyalty, it's strategy. Because in Trump's world, loyalty isn't optional, it's currency. And the moment you stop paying it, you're out, even if you're family.
As the proud daughter of your nominee, I am here to tell you that this is the moment and Donald Trump is the person to make America great again.
Eric's become the moron publicly. Ivanka gives a shit. It's all about her.
Yeah, she's a mini Donald.
She's a mini Donald, but yet he's besotted with her. He always has been. She's always been his favorite.
Even inside the Trump family, the picture of Ivanka isn't exactly warm and fuzzy. Marianne Trump Barry, Donald's own sister, a former federal judge, was caught on tape saying Ivanka doesn't care about anyone else in the family, that she's just like her father, a mini Donald, and, of course, his favorite child. That's the thing about Trump's world. Being the favorite isn't about kindness or compassion or even competence. It's about reflecting him back to himself. The sharper the mirror, the higher you rise. And if you're the one person in the room who plays his game exactly the way he does, you're not just in the inner circle, you're untouchable.
Like many bad parents, Donald is not subtle about which of his children he favors. So that's part of it, and that's something that's been part of the narrative in the family since they were kids.
Said that his relationship with his kids is very transactional, and I mean, is that the lens he views everything through?
Yeah, he got that from my grandfather, who viewed life and business and his family as a zero-sum game. There could only be one winner. Everyone else loses. So in order to be the winner, which Donald was absolutely determined to be, you need to figure out how to maximize your advantage in any relationship you have. Yes, they know better than anybody how to manipulate Donald in order to stay in his good graces. So they have, that's why they're still around.
Ivanka is very in control and has a lot of cohorts to back her up in whatever she's doing. She really just wanted to usurp Melania in every which way, not only as the first daughter of the first lady, and I say she's the princess that wanted to be queen. She unfortunately really hindered any progress of an initiative for the first lady or any movement for Melania to do anything.
Stephanie says Ivanka approached her to make sure she was placed prominently next to her father when President Trump was sworn into office.
You don't do that to the First Lady of the United States of America. You do not try and position yourself more important. And Melania was not having that. She looked at me and she said, "You mean who, princess?" And we both started laughing hysterically because Ivanka turned into a princess who wanted to be queen. And I spoke with Melania about the picture itself. We figured out how to make sure that Barron was in between Donald and Melania, and that to Melania's right would be Donald Jr., and that Ivanka would be next.
Keeping Ivanka blocked from the historic photo. Stephanie says she has proof to back up her stories.